Ramirez is happy to be here. He says over in Atlanta, the infield was so bad, you don't play defense. It's self-defense over there.
It's a good point, because consistently he was always leading shortstops in most errors. Now he's playing very well wherever Houston uses him. Dave Martinez, we mentioned he likes to bunt. He has a half a dozen bunt singles. So that puts a little bit of pressure on Craig Reynolds. 0-2.
Mike Scott, famous for that split finger fastball. He really, I really asked him. He uses it when he widens his fingers as wide as he can get them. It really breaks down, and he doesn't have as good a control as when his fingers are a little bit tighter. And he'll throw the wide grip split finger when he's ahead 2 strikes.
He's celebrating an anniversary today, but he just as soon not talk about it as he takes care of Dave Martinez, 1 away.
Here's where he'll use that wide grip split finger, because he throws it for the middle of the plate and let it break where it's going to break.
1-2. Ground ball down to first. Glenn Davis will do it himself, and we have 2 down here in the first inning.
That was really a defensive swing, wasn't it?
Of course, that can be a problem, too. You get a reputation of being a fellow who doesn't strike out, and all of a sudden that's all you think about. With 2 strikes, I'm not going to strike out, instead of actually taking a good rip.
Just hope that you get that bat on the ball.
Andre Dawson coming against Mike Scott. Scotty is 6-0, trying to become the first 7-game winner on the Houston staff. And here is Dawson, who has not hit a home run since the 13th of May.
If you're wondering what a catcher can do if he wants to scuff up the ball, he can sharpen up your shin guard and put a scratch in it. When you drop the ball, instead of just picking the ball up, you kind of push it into the dirt and get dirt in the seams. Belt buckle.
A one-hopper into left center field. Base hit for Andre Dawson. So Dawson, a 2-out single, and that will bring up Ryne Sandberg. Sandberg, long a favorite here in Chicago, and rightfully so, was hitting well over 300 in the leadoff role. They finally put him down to the number 4 slot, and it will be interesting to see how he fares hitting 4th.
He's been told not to change his attitude when he gets in the batter's box. Hit like you're a leadoff man, but that's easier said than done.
On the outside corner, Andre Dawson, who stole 11 bases last year, stole his first base of the year yesterday. No, Andre at first, 2 out in the first inning, no score.
Scott not very good at holding him on, so he can get a good jump if he wants to run.
1 ball, 1 strike. The one thing about Scott, the one fly in the ointment, the Achilles heel, whatever, is the fact, as you say, he's having trouble holding runners on.
11 out of 15 attempts. But the good news, no balks, no pickoffs, no wild pitches, and that's pretty good. No balks. Jack Morris will settle for that.
And Dave Stewart. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score on a beautiful day in Chicago.
Sellout too, Vin.
Oh, and the weather is magnificent. And of course, several big questions in Chicago. One, when will there be the first night game here? I guess if everybody's guessing, and the first guess is the 18th of July against the Giants, but it's only a guess. 2-1. There goes Dawson. And a chopper to the hole at short, backhanded by Dunston with that arm. The throw by Ramirez is not in time. Over to third. Dawson is in there.
That was simply Major League base running by Dawson. Nobody, no coach can help you. The ball is in the hole. Ramirez makes a good play coming up with it. The grass gives him some help. He knows he's got to make the long throw, and Dawson doesn't hesitate and beats the throw.
So an infield single to Ryne Sandberg. As we look at it yet again, and Andre took one look back, and when he realized Ramirez had to gun it to first, he just kept on going.
As soon as he saw him throw it, if Ramirez obviously holds the ball, he's not going. So you saw good base running right there, where he knew exactly where that ball was at all times.
Mark Grace, and the count 0-1. This might be the case of a kid feeling pressure at home. We'll leave it up to you. You see his numbers. All 3 home runs, all 8 RBIs on the road. In fact, he's hitting almost .420 on the road. Here in Wrigley Field, no home runs, no RBIs. He's a .230 hitter in 13 games. So it's tough. And, of course, they expect a great deal from him. And that's going to be hit over the leaping Pankovich base hit. That will be Grace's first RBI here at Wrigley Field. He'll get quite a few before he's finished. 1-0 Chicago.
He didn't exactly sting that ball, kind of hit it on the end of the bat, a split finger, and Pankovich really tries to come up with it, at least knock it down, got way up there, but he'd have to be Jose Lean of Pittsburgh to get high enough to stop it, and that's a big, big base hit because it was an educational experience for Grace to be going up against Mike Scott with that split finger, and any RBI with 2 outs is always a big one. That's good hitting.
Yep. 2-2, the count of Jody Davis. 1-0 Cubs first inning, and there goes Grace, and the ball is hitting to right center. It will land, base hit. In comes Sandberg. Grace moves to third. 4 consecutive singles. 2-0 Chicago.
And Jody Davis not trying to pull that ball. He goes inside out with it. Watch his swing. I mean, he will not try to pull it. He's going that way all the way.
Vance Law with those 25 RBIs tied with Andre Dawson for the club lead. And he goes the other way. A flare to right for a base hit. Scoring is Grace. Stopping is Davis. 5 consecutive singles. 3-0 Chicago. Gerald Young, he has to go and get it. It's over his head, and it's going to go to the wall. In comes Davis. Here comes Law on a triple by Dunston. Gerald Young didn't get a jump on that ball. I think he might have lost it originally.
I started to say, make no bones about it, that the ball was well hit, but I don't think that Young saw that ball come off the bat. Now, it is a high sky. There's not a cloud up there to help you, and when he realized that he had to go back, he just could not catch up with it.
And Lanier and company buried by 5. Maddeningly for Lanier. Scott got the first 2 batters easily. He hadn't even had a chance to get anybody ready if he was thinking about going to the bench. Interesting, too, about Mike Scott. He's worked less than 6 innings only once in 10 starts. He has allowed more than 3 earned runs only twice all year. 1-2. He has given up 5. Well, you talk about a high 5. That's about as high as you go.
And I'm sure that even as he rubs up that baseball, he's thinking about that ball that Dunston hit because it was catchable.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 2-2. So Calvin Schiraldi is the 9th man to come to the plate for the Cubs. They have had 6 consecutive base hits with 2 out. So Mike Scott strikes out 2, and that's not going to give you a lift home because the Cubs pick up a big 5, including a 2-run triple by Dunston at the end of an inning. 5-0 Chicago.